everyone, welcome to Kalia. This is Mia. I hope you're doing well. Okay. Today we are within the energy of the full moon. It is a very, very intense energy. The energy is creating an intense meeting point between the old, your past, and the new you emerging. I've talked about this recently, and I trust you have been feeling that you are emerging, that you are jumping timelines, that you are creating a new chapter for yourself. And so just before we do that, the past comes by knocking on our door to see how determined we are, how dedicated we are, and mostly to show us more clearly, after having done so much work on ourselves, how that past has held us back and how it represents parts of us that have been held back. And so there are a lot of old soul contracts that are ending, and new ones will be forming. And this meeting point is supercharged because in some cases it may cause a certain amount of anxiety or discomfort, and in some cases perhaps even sadness and pain in knowing that you are parting ways for one reason or the other. And as much as I know that it is a difficult moment, it is also a very beautiful moment. And I am here to remind you that you are on your higher path and that you have come so very far on your path. I have been talking about it a lot recently, and I know you know it, but you need to be reminded, because at that meeting point where you meet the past, you see how you have to render yourself limited again to be able to relate to the past. It is almost impossible to relate to the past from within your new context, your new version of yourself, your limitless, growing version of yourself. And that in itself should show you why this is occurring, why it has to be, why we need to release others for the continuation of their journey, and why we need, above all at this time, to adhere with all of us, with all of what we have in us, to adhere to our higher path and to our higher purpose and to this emergence of self that we have worked so hard to reach to, and we are just at the edge of the entrance to it. And we cannot allow ourselves to look back. We cannot allow ourselves to be held back or to hold ourselves back, okay? There should be no guilt at this moment. There should really not be sadness, but actually celebration of this moment. And I know it's not easy. I really do. I'm with you once again on the same path, with the same process. And that is why I know it's not easy. But nothing bad is truly occurring. It is just a separation of paths. And as I always mention, we are all eternal. And so there is never an ending. There is an endless evolution and expansion for all of us, according to our pace and where we are on the journey. But we are all ever expansive and ever evolving. But you are at this point in time in a very important place for yourself and for humanity on planet Earth and beyond, for all of creation, because everything that is occurring now on planet Earth and is about to occur affects beyond planet Earth as well. So it is in the interest of all of us, all of creation, for this new era to occur. And you have worked diligently, and you have prepared, and you have endured, and you have persevered to reach this point. It's not about being upset or angry at anyone from our past. Like I mentioned in a recent video, we can only be grateful because they have pushed us to expand and to grow and to strengthen. But they do not align at the moment with our higher path, with where we are at, with our higher purpose. And you need to release them the same as you need to be released, because you need not cling to them, because they are also needing to continue their journey. Even those that pass need to continue their form of journey and their evolution in that form of journey. You don't know their journey. You have enough to try and understand your journey, okay? So trust me, it is in the benefit of all of us. You're not letting go, whether they are passing or you are just separating paths on planet Earth, it doesn't matter. Letting go does not mean that we are leaving them behind while we advance. It's not exactly like that. Yes, we need to advance. We need to advance on our journey and for the higher purpose to which we have signed a pact to fulfill at this time. And like I said, you need to release them also for their next stage, whatever that may be, but it is a next stage on their journey of evolution. Rest assured, okay? So nothing devastating is really happening. You need to take a bird's eye view I know it's easier said than done, but that is part of the challenge at this time. This is actually part of this important moment. It is crucial for your own evolution, and I have touched upon it recently, to learn to not indulge in what we think is a necessary emotional drama, just because we have been used to it until now. Our customs are about to change, and they were not. They were adaptive to a certain dimension, a certain energetic frequency, a certain level of evolution. I'm not saying that we need not have emotions, don't get me wrong, but the indulgence, and I have mentioned this, the indulgence in emotional drama unnecessarily is something that we need to take a better look at. And if you change your perspective and if you focus on what you have worked on until now, but more importantly what you have recently felt that is becoming and emerging in you, you are so close and you can feel it. And it has not been easy, and even now it's not easy to hold on to this precious moment and continue to evolve, because you're being asked to stretch beyond your comfort zone. And your comfort zone, one of the aspects is falling into sadness because of parting of ways. That's one of it. And stretching beyond that and understanding where the importance of where you're at and where you're going, not only for yourself but for all of us. It is epic. It is. And really, if you haven't watched the few recent, at least 2 or something like that, the few recent videos in which I touched upon this, please try and do so. I tried to recollect your journey, to remind you how far you've come and how significant your journey is and your becoming is. The results of that journey and your becoming. You need now to stand tall and become unapologetically and irrevocably, I hope I said that right, you. Unapologetically and irrevocably you. And when you look back at your past, you can see old parts of you that you have shedded in the meantime. But those old parts of you are the ones that are clinging to the past, perhaps, if you're still clinging, but not the emerging real you. And those parts of you that were attached to these old soul contracts and the past, you have outgrown, and you have learned your lessons, which these old soul contracts have come here to teach you within the dynamics of these interactions. And some of these contracts are very long and have been very challenging for a long time, but you have outgrown, and most of all, you have outgrown that the parts of you that feel that you are limited, and that is immense. Okay, so for you to understand now how important it is to take the next step, and how important it is to let go. And I know that the meeting point is supercharged and for many of you difficult, but you have already let go of some soul contracts and some parts of your past. So you know how it works, you know the process, you have learned to let go, okay? So it should not be as, at least you are more prepared, all right? Maybe certain parts and certain contracts are more difficult to let go of. That is possibly the case for many of you. And it is also possibly the case why this moment is more intense. But understand the importance. Understand how overcoming the intensity and overcoming the need for too much emotional indulgence. If you're sad, of course, I'm not saying not to acknowledge your emotions, but stay on track. Stay contained, stay focused. As you look at what brings you sadness, at the same moment, look how far you've come and what's at stake. Let there be no doubt in your mind at all how important it is for you to take the next step. And again, this crucial meeting point, which causes such intensity and challenge, is within itself another step in your evolution. If you get to see yourself overcome the intense emotional drama and keeping it at minimum and knowing to let go without too much drama and without breaking down and without thinking you won't be able to. And I'm not making light of it, and I'm not making fun of it. Because I told you I'm part of you. But if you are able to take the higher perspective and not break down and not break apart and not cling to old parts of you, knowing that you are on the edge, you are on the cusp of emerging and becoming who finally, after this long journey, becoming who you truly are. That's what's at the doorstep. That's what's at the cusp and the just beyond the corner of this moment. So if you feel the need, because there is very intense energy, and by the way, I really wanted to do this video earlier today, but I couldn't. But I did post real-time tidbit energy updates on Facebook, which I try to do as much as possible. So if you're interested, head on to Facebook in moments where you don't see a video yet and you would like some kind of to touch base with what's going on with the energy, okay? Then you can check out Facebook. The link is below, all right? And like I said before, if you would like that to occur here on the channel on YouTube, then please consider, if you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe so that the channel will also reach more people that need to hear this message, and also I can write updates on the community board. All right. Now, I wanted so much for this, and I hope this will upload quickly. Okay. The moment is intense. The moment, the energy is intense, and most likely you are going through something that has to do with the past, coming back to visit, or that meeting point of letting go of it. And so if you feel, and most likely you do, feel the need for a pause, please, you know that I always encourage, if you have been watching my videos or my writings, I keep encouraging, touch base with yourself, touch base with your balance, with your serenity, with your calm. It's so important. And this, especially during the intensity of the challenges these last 2 years, you may have come to understand more and more how self-care is important. And once again, in this moment, it's important. So you need to rebalance, you need to process, okay? Depending, of course, on whatever it is you're going through and the intensity of what you're going through. You know how much you need and what you need, but pause, breathe, touch base with yourself if you feel overwhelmed, if you feel that this is too challenging or too intense. There are also holidays taking place for 3 different religions at this time. So there is a lot of more meeting points between families and loved ones and friends. So the intensity can be greater at this time, and I'm sure that serves a higher purpose as well. It's not by coincidence that all of this is happening at the same time, okay? So as soon as you can, detach from the intensity or from interactions and from any sensory. You may find yourself very sensitive to any sensory stimuli, okay? Noise or sounds, too much going on. Just try to pull back, find your quiet space, breathe deeply, like I always show you to do, okay? Touch base, rest more, take a pause to rest if you can, or go to bed early. Whatever you can and whatever you feel you need. Go into nature and kind of find respite and harmony in nature. Do what you feel helps you, but take a pause and rebalance and recenter and remind yourself what you're here to do, what you've gone through, what's at stake, that you will not be falling back, that you are not limited, that you are not the vision of yourself or the version of yourself that the past is showing you. There may be parts of you, and this is what is coming to be cleared as well. There may be parts of you that meet this mirroring and say, wow, am I still this or am I still that? Maybe questions of loved ones or of of any sort of old soul contract that comes and asks you about your life or says about your life, that puts you suddenly again in a small spot and has you feeling limited. Don't go there. Don't go there. Look immediately at where you have come to recently, the positivity, the elevation of your vibration. Even if you do not see physical signs, you have grown energetically and spiritually closer beyond the veil of illusion, in the knowing that you are close to emerging, and you feel it, you sense it, you have done a lot of work. Don't get pulled back down, all right? This is your reminder, all right? So I think that's it. I really want you not to forget yourself and to remember you are emerging. You are about to become the real you. You are this close. Parts of you are already there, have already jumped timeline, and you just have a little bit left. Maybe that little bit that needed to meet the past now. Okay? So collect that, and or rather release and shed the parts of you that no longer align with true you that is emerging. Release the past and the false perceptions of self, the limited perceptions of self, and the soul contracts that need to come to an end. And again, not only for yourself, but also for them. Remember, it goes both ways. We need to be dedicated to our evolution, all of us, okay? So we are all always connected as well. Remember, I've mentioned this a lot. Loved ones that pass on continue to support us from the light, all right? And those that continue their journey, we are all connected. We are all on this journey. Beyond this veil, we know it, okay? A part of us, our higher self, that is always left in the light for us to always align with it, knows all of this. We are all connected. We are not really letting go of anyone, okay? Maybe that can help you too, and it's true. But for now, you need to be devoted to your journey. Stay steadfast, stay focused, stand tall. You are about to become unapologetically you, shining your light beyond all of these old limited perceptions, and showing others how it is to break through this point and shine who we truly are. Okay, so be strong. Take that moment to pause and process and reconnect with your higher self and your higher guidance that is helping you at this time, all right? Beyond the noise, if you can let go of the mind and the stress and the intensity that you may go through for a moment, find a quiet spot, breathe, and beyond this noise, if you try to just let it go, stop thinking for a moment, you can allow your higher guidance to come in and soothe you and remind you also who you are and where you're going. All right? Okay. I hope this has helped someone today. All right? I'm sending you much love. Bye.